legendary racket technician to the pros and the regular Joes. Nobody better in the business. Welcome Roman in for a great conversation.
Let's talk about college teams and equipment problems. I know you deal with a lot of colleges. What are coaches dealing with when they recruit a new class of players in and they walk in with all these different equipment needs and preferences? And how does the college kind of support them in that?
It's a really tough job for the coaches. So there is a couple ways of handling it. In the past, basically, don't deal with it. Whatever the player comes with, that's fine. I don't care about it. Don't deal with it. That attitude kind of goes away because obviously the coaches want to do well.
Right.
They want to do
and keep the player healthy.
They want to keep the player healthy. Exactly. So I had coaches kind of just do phone consultations in a sense. They said, "Look, I have a kid. He came from anywhere in the world. Love the way he plays. However, he's getting hurt. His arm is hurting, and could it be possibly the racket?" So then we talk about it. And they tell me he plays with a racket that it's, heavier than Federer ever used, for example. And I said, well, how big is the player? Well, he's 5'2" and weighs 110 pounds. Right there, you already know you have a huge issue. So based upon the conversation, I make a suggestion or create a kind of a demo, a sample frame. And most of the times we kind of hit it right on the head or very close, where we reduce the weight, we reduce we change the balances, we change the swing weight, we recommend potentially different strings, different tension. And so what started happening, the coaches, once you help one player,
they want you to help them all, yeah.
So they want to help all the other players. So basically now they start sending us almost racket automatically. They say, do the same as you did before, or they say, I have a new kid coming, this is what they play with, what do you think? And one of the things that we really hope, or at least what I hope, we can do at Farm and Forge, it's almost bring the
whole team,
the team here, as opposed to me talking to them and kind of guessing, and maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. Bring the team, not only just to see me, but come and train here. You can stay 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 days. You have a great training session.
Red clay to train on.
Play on a red clay. And in the meantime, I'll have plenty of time to settle the rackets for the whole team.
Every coach who's wanting to win is looking for tiny competitive advantages. Well, I can't think of a larger team-wide competitive advantage than what you just said.
That is correct. This will make a big difference. And also once one college does it well, all the other ones have to do the same thing. But it's a good thing because it will help the player.
Yeah. So what are the kinds of equipment problems that college players tend to be showing up with?
Mostly they play too heavy because again, they come from the world of
some pro told them use a 340 gram.
Somewhere in Romania or Australia or New Zealand told me this. And for the most part, they come and play with rackets that are built for that game of 10, 15 years ago. Racket is way, way too heavy, and they haven't adjusted to the needs of the current game. That's what happens the most. A lot of times also it goes with strings because let's say they don't have the means to be stringing every day or every 2 days.
So they go with a way thick, hard string.
Hard poly because it doesn't break. And then it causes all sorts of issues. So on college, usually they get sponsored so they don't have to worry about
somebody to do the stringing.
Exactly. So it becomes much easier to do the right recommendation.
Yeah. So can you go more into if a college does visit? I heard you talk about training and evaluation. Can you talk a little more, though, about the process? I mean, that sounds exciting for a coach to do maybe in the preseason.
We haven't really done it yet here because we are just in the process of kind of opening. But my hope is when we talk to these coaches that we already deal with. So they are not going to kind of doubt at what we do, does it make sense or not. By inviting them over, first of all, they'll see an amazing place to train. And hopefully they'll come, and not only that they can use my services, but the human performance. So the coach can now learn from, the other department. This is how you train. This is how you train for better speed. This is how you prevent injuries with this player or that player. So I think the benefits are just incredible if we can kind of have these coaches and the teams come over.
I'm picturing them out there training while you're in here with one at a time doing an evaluation, so that when they all leave, they know the racket, they know the tension, they know the string, and they walk away with confidence that the variable of the equipment is not one that they have to worry is a problem.
Correct. So that allows basically the coaches then to do their job, because that means coaching. They don't have to worry about that part.
If a team can't visit, what can they do?
I mean, basically, we can continue doing it the way we do it. It's just you call, you say, look, I have this kit, I have that kit. We have the conversation, and we basically do it on the same level as we do it now. We try to help as much as we can, but it's somewhat more limited because I haven't seen you play yet. So I just take, the coach's word for it.
On that call, like if they were to call, what exact info do you need from them?
The more info, the better, to be honest, right? And that's something that we can maybe...
And you're saying per player. Like they need to be able to tell you, I have this player, this country, this height, this... They don't need to just call with general information.
That is correct. And that's something that we're going to work on here, because now we have the space, we have the manpower to kind of almost simplify it, as opposed to me talking to each coach and writing it down, kind of create a form where it's going to be simple. Just go online, download this form, and fill it out for the player that you think needs help. So that's something that we can make it a little bit easier, as opposed to this, well, he said, she said a little bit. So I think that will help. It's possible that I might still call. However, I'll ask you a couple questions as opposed to 20.
Yeah, a good question here is, you've got teams that are sponsored, and describe the process where the frames might not go directly to the team. They may come to you first and then to the team.
A lot of times what they do, they either let's say the team works with whatever manufacturer, so they are sponsored, so they within, each company makes a lot of different frames. So a lot of times they can satisfy most of the players. Somebody plays with a stiffer frame, somebody with a more flexible frame, and on and on. So they either send it directly to the school, and the school then forward it to us, or let's say when they talked to us before, is that I have a player who is sponsored by Babolat, for example, so we'll be ordering 6 rackets, as opposed to Babolat shipping it to the school and then you shipping it back and me shipping it back. It can go directly to us from Babolat, as long as I know who it is for. And I already have the info before, so when the rackets arrive, I know what to do with it.
Mr. Roman, will you talk real quick about your relationship with all the manufacturers? Well, I think one of the things I respect is that you're not going to pick one manufacturer over another, because you believe that all of them or most of them make really good rackets in some form.
Correct, that is correct.
And they have rackets that fit lots of different people. But one of the things I learned about you is how deep your relationship is with so many of the manufacturers, and how they even use you to consult to them. You're getting to see some of these rackets long before they even go into manufacturing.
You develop it over the long time, right? So at the beginning, they wouldn't just give me the rackets that they don't want the public to see yet, right? However, they all respect the fact that I don't work only for them.
Right.
You would almost think that it's going to upset them, because if you come from Babolat and I said, nope, I'm not going to be sponsored by Babolat, because that means now I owe them.
Stuck in
now
Babolat.
I'm kind of stuck with that relationship. It's actually the opposite, because they really respect it, because they know that I am not going to prefer some other company who just, gave us a little bit more money or rackets or something.
Discounts or whatever.
We work for the players regardless of what manufacturer, and we earn that respect and that trust. They also send us rackets that maybe come months and months before they want them released, because they know we are not going to post pictures. We are not going to talk about it. So it's a long-term relationship where we develop the trust that they can trust us to do this the right way.
But you're also able to put that racket in players' hands and provide feedback to the manufacturer.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. Exactly.
And why does that matter?
Well, they need to know how. Is there something that we need to adjust on the racket? So, let's say they make a racket and they design it and they spend a lot of times with it, an engineer. But then they need to really see, how does it really behave when I put it on Tennis Sangren's hand?
He's going to give good feedback.
Does it behave the way we think it behaves? So again, then I almost do an evaluation of what did the racket do in tennis's hands, right? So it's not about, is it the right fit for tennis, because he doesn't need that. He already knows what he needs, but more about the racket. What did it do on this level? What did it do on, kick serve? What did it do on,
Wow.
if you hit out wide, deep forehand, and on and on. So we can feed that information back to the manufacturer so they can potentially adjust as needed.
Adjust or understand that this is the profile
Yes,
of this racket, and
exactly.
it's exactly what we expected.
Exactly.
But then also, I think you've done some work in string as well, right? And even just manipulating string to be exactly how you want it to be. Can you talk just a little bit about that?
I am not an engineer, so it's more, again, goes back to the feedback to the manufacturer. So let's say I work pretty closely with Solinco, and they are fantastic with strings. So they obviously have great strings out there, but there was one little gap in the kind of the lineup where I thought, for me, for my needs, I need something a little bit different.
With a different profile.
Different profile, not really for the pro player, but more that club player who loves to play with Holly, who plays well 4-0, 4-5, 5-0 level, but needs something more forgiving. So with the Solinco's help, we were able to create this line of string that they make for us, for example, to fit that exact segment. And then we help them, we give them feedback when they make samples of strings. They send it to us, we play test it, and then we give them feedback and they adjust it as needed.
Yeah, yeah. If I'm a college coach out there and I look at my lineup, and the difference between winning and losing could be a few games, a few points.
Correct.
Man, why in the world? I want a competitive advantage.
Yeah.
This is probably one out there that's not being taken advantage of as often. Some, I mean, the word's gotten out with some of them, and I see them and they come. But man, I think now that you've got the space, because one of the challenges of when you were in New York was just court
space,
time.
yep. Always space, yep.
But there's no challenge here with space.
And the beauty is also, let's say, for example, when you work with players, Spanish players, if I bring them for consultation tomorrow, I am going to try to help them, but it's not going to be that helpful. And you know why? Because we're going to take them indoor hard court. And most of the Spanish players will tell you, I can play with anything indoor hard because I don't care. Because I have no idea how the racket plays. They need to go on slow red clay, and then they can say, now I know what I'm looking for. Or you can flip it around. You bring somebody, like Opelka here, and you put him on red clay. He might tell you, doesn't matter to me. I need to go indoor hard. So to have that ability here, it's absolutely enormous. To take, go from indoor to go outdoor. That's great that you like it indoor when everything is kind of controlled environment. Let's see what happens tomorrow when it's windy and 68 degrees and sun is in your eyes. What happens? So that's important as well.